Okay, here's a quick question. What if I told you that 80% of your employees are living paycheck to paycheck? Would that surprise you? Probably not. You've seen that statistic everywhere. It's been on every HR conference slide, every wellness vendor pitch deck, every article about employee financial stress in the last 5 years. 80% paycheck to paycheck. Got it. But here's what nobody tells you. That statistic might be the most dangerous number in your entire HR strategy. Not because it's not wrong, but because of how you're using it. And more importantly, how the people selling you financial wellness programs are using it. It is absolutely, positively misleading you about what your employees actually need. Stick with me here for a few minutes. What I'm about to show you changes how you think about employee financial wellness entirely. Here's why this matters. Most organizations that invest in financial wellness programs, and we're talking about real money, real budget, real decisions, make those decisions based on broad national statistics like the 80% figure. They hear the data, they get concerned, they buy a program or an app or a portal, they roll it out, and then almost nothing changes. 2% of employees use it. The financial stress numbers don't move. The HR director gets frustrated. The CFO asks why the program isn't working, and everyone just shrugs. The problem almost always starts with the data they use to design the program. Here's a statistics lesson that's going to ruin dinner party conversations forever, but it's important. When we say 80% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, that's an average, and averages hide things, dangerous things. Let me give you an extreme example to make a point. Imagine you have 10 people in a room. 5 of them are completely broke, zero savings, credit card debt, 1 missed paycheck from disaster. The other 5 are genuinely doing fine. They have emergency funds, retirement accounts, no consumer debt. What's the average financial stress level of the room? Somewhere in the middle, which would lead you to design a program for people who are doing fine but could do better. Meanwhile, half the room is in genuine crisis and your program doesn't reach them at all. Now blow that up to a company of 200 people, or a school district of 300 employees, or a credit union with 500 members. The distribution within that 80% figure is wildly different from organization to organization, from industry to industry, from zip code to zip code. The employee earning $42,000 a year at a manufacturing plant in rural Ohio has a completely different financial picture than the employee earning $68,000 a year at a tech-adjacent company in Austin. The program that helps one of them is not the program that helps the other. And here's the part that really is going to bother you. Most financial wellness programs are designed around a composite average American who does not actually work at your company. When you actually look at any workforce up close, and I've done this for more than 20 years, you don't see a monolithic group of financially stressed people. You see 3 distinct populations, and they need entirely different interventions. Population 1, the chronically fragile. These are the employees who are genuinely in crisis. They have multiple debts, no savings. They're the ones requesting paycheck advances. They're the ones calling out because a car repair wiped them out. They are not living paycheck to paycheck out of lifestyle choices. They're in a system that has no slack in it whatsoever. For these people, information doesn't help. A webinar doesn't help. They need a structured program with hands-on coaching, accountability, and a specific action plan. Population 2, the anxious middle. These are people who look fine on paper. They're making their payments. They're not in acute crisis, but they have no emergency fund. Their retirement savings are minimal, and they're one significant life event away from sliding into population 1. They know something isn't right, but they don't know what to do about it. For these people, the right program is about building systems and creating the buffer that prevents the slide. Population 3, the comfortable coasters. These are the employees who are doing reasonably well. They have savings, manageable debt, and their financial life is more or less under control. They don't need crisis intervention. They need optimization. Maybe they're leaving money on the table with their W-4 withholding. Maybe they haven't thought through their mortgage payoff strategy. Maybe they've never been walked through the HELOC as a financial tool. For them, the program is about getting more out of what they already have. Now, here's the critical point. If you design one program around your organization's average, you significantly underserve population 1, the people who need the most help. And you either bore or irrelevantize population 3. This is why the 80% statistic, deployed without nuance, produces programs that technically exist, but don't actually help the people who need the most help. So, what's the answer? 3 things. First, stop treating your workforce as a monolith. Before you design or buy any financial wellness program, do a simple anonymous survey. It doesn't take more than 5 questions, and that tells you where your actual employees are. What percentage have less than $500 in savings? What percentage are carrying high-interest consumer debt? What percentage are living on a monthly basis without a plan? You don't need their names. You need the distribution. Second, Choose a program that can serve all three populations simultaneously. Not three different programs, one program that has the range and depth to meet employees where they are, whether that's crisis intervention or optimization. A good financial wellness program isn't a one-size prescription. It's a framework that applies differently based on each person's starting point. And third, measure the outcomes, not participation. I cannot stress this enough. If your financial wellness vendor is measuring success by how many employees logged into the portal, you should probably think about a different vendor. The measure that matters is behavior change. Did participants build emergency funds? Did they reduce high-interest debt? Did they enroll in the right student loan repayment plan? Did their self-reported financial stress go down? Those are the questions that tell you whether the program is working or whether it's just checking a box. The numbers that HR leaders actually care about, turnover, absenteeism, productivity, they all move. Not because you spent a fortune, because you used the right framework. The 80% statistic is real. Your employees' financial stress is real. But designing a program around a national average is the organizational equivalent of prescribing the same medication to every patient because you know the average disease in America. The right program starts by understanding who your people actually are and then meeting them where they are. If you want to see how this actually works for your specific organization, your people, your industry, your budget, reach out to us. We'll show you the framework, walk you through the program, and help you figure out exactly what your workforce actually needs. You can find us at expedition.money or email us directly at info@expedition.money. I'm Peter Waitzman, founder of Expedition Money, and I'll see you next time.